I feel guilty, Sheriyah, about yesterday. About being an ass.
Wait a second, who is this guy? And what's he done with the real Sarper? Now, I'm not exactly sure what Shekinah said to him in the last 24 hours that's made him reconsider his entire persona. But he's now even ready to post a photo of them on Instagram.
And I want to post tonight.
You do?
Yeah. As a sign of my good intention. Just to show you how valuable you are for me.
Sorry, did I miss something? What's going on here? This man we see before us seems apologetic. He seems like a nice guy. It's a million miles away from the guy we saw in the last episode. You know, the one who was calling his girlfriend a slut in front of her sister whilst needing raw meat. But when we join them in this episode, tensions seem to have well and truly simmered down. In fact, Shekinah is grovelling to her sister Sheriyah on Sarper's behalf.
Honestly, I don't think you saw, like, our connection. You didn't see the side of him that I see.
I feel like the reason I didn't see that is because it's not there.
Look, Shekinah, that might work on a goldfish, but I'm not convinced that the memory of Sarper crouched over you, hurling insults at you just last night has left your sister's frontal lobe just yet. But that doesn't stop Shekinah for seeking redemption for her boyfriend. You see, she's really trying to get that validation from her sister that she so clearly craves. It's really hard to watch.
I understand that Sheriyah is just looking out for me, but I feel like Sarper deserves more of a chance than this.
Did I just hear you say Sarper needs more of a chance? Need I remind you, Shekinah, that last night he was meant to be on his best behaviour. You'd specifically coached him on what he should or shouldn't say. So if that was him trying, if all of those demeaning insults came while he was on his best behaviour, God help you behind closed doors.
I would like you to give another chance to him. Will you do that?
Yeah.
Her mouth may be saying yes, but Sheriyah's expression, her demeanour, her eyes, they're all saying hell no. And privately, to the camera crew, Sheriyah admits that true forgiveness and a blank slate just isn't on the cards for her. It isn't that easy to erase the image of this big burly man hunched over your sister, degrading her, ordering her around, calling her a bitch and a slut. And that's not even to mention the insults that he hurled at Sheriyah as she was walking out the door.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I have an opinion of Sarper from what I saw last night. Like, it's not gonna change.
Yeah, I don't blame Sheriyah here, but I also see that this is sisterly love. She's doing this, she's here in Turkey and she's willing to meet Sarper again for her sister. Now, Shekinah seems to think that Sheriyah will see some kind of miraculous change in Sarper. And let's face it, she really wants to believe that herself. Like, it's very possible that Shekinah's drinking the Kool-Aid. She really believes that Sarper will change overnight. Perhaps she's also hoping he might turn into the kind of guy that won't weigh her every morning. The kind of guy that won't insult her family.
At least you'll have a little bit more time around him. You know, hopefully you'll see something different. Okay?
So Sheriyah reluctantly agrees to a second meeting. And when we join them that evening at the restaurant, Shekinah and Sarper take the opportunity before Sheriyah arrives to have a chat about last night. Sarper is finally ready to take accountability.
I just feel ashamed. Sometimes I can be offensive, I know that.
I understand you.
Look, Sarper really seems to have Shekinah wrapped around his little finger. It's hard to fully comprehend that just 24 hours earlier, he was calling her a bitch and telling her sister to keep her mouth shut. She really has a lot more patience than Sarper deserves. And as we've seen before, she's an expert at just sweeping things under the rug, at excusing all the red flags and the toxic behaviour.
I'm telling Sarper to not be nervous because I definitely don't want to dwell on like how bad Sarper did at his first meeting with my sister. That's not going to do any good.
Now, you've just got to imagine that Shekinah must have had a stern word or two to say to Sarper after what unfolded. Either that, or she's spent a lot more time coaching him. Because tonight, he's emerged a brand new man. I don't even recognise him. I mean, he's respectful, he's not talking about all the other women he's slept with, and he seems genuinely remorseful. He's talking about how desperate he is to impress Sheriyah.
I have to give her a better impression before she leaves, and she will leave tomorrow, so I will do my best. It's her sister, and I don't want her to be in the middle of fighting.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Sarper's said all of this before, like literally in the last episode. He made the exact same promise before meeting Sheriyah, only to then insult her anyway. But this time, his actions actually match his words. He takes accountability, and he's not sugarcoating his apology either.
I feel guilty, Sheriyah, about yesterday. About being an ass.
This is all quite bizarre to watch, like it feels really out of character for Sarper. And you can tell that he's not used to apologising. He's so awkward, and he can barely make eye contact with Sheriyah. He'd clearly rather be anywhere else in the world right now. But if there's one thing that we've learnt about Sarper, it's that he's a pro at making empty promises. Whether that's promising to post on social media, buying a bed, promising not to kiss or train other women. Like, we've seen lots of instances of broken promises. So for as remorseful as he appears right now, I'm not sure that I'm buying it. But he is saying all the right things. He's saying everything he knows Shekinah and Sheriyah want to hear.
I have to change it, I know it. For her sake and for our happiness. So I'll do my best, I promise.
Look, sorry to say, but I'm not convinced that you trying to do your best is actually reassuring. So far, your best has been weighing your girlfriend every morning and trying to force her to lose weight. It's been getting right up in her face and being controlling, intimidating. Let's not forget that this is how Sarper's acting with a camera crew and in the first few days of being together with supposedly the love of his life. Like, this is the honeymoon phase. If he's acting like this now, then it's only likely to get worse as time progresses. So the fact that he's now putting his hands up and saying, I have to change, I promise I'll do my best, really doesn't hold much weight. It's just words. And Sheriyah isn't prepared to just buy all of this so easily.
I know, like, it's important for you to feel respected, but it's equally important for her to also have that respect.
Yeah.
Sheriyah makes it clear what she expects of him, and that doesn't just stop at respect. What about the whole social media issue, she asks. What's the deal with how private and secretive you're keeping Shekinah from the rest of the world? Why haven't you posted about her, she asks in a calm, respectful manner.
I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable, but it kind of sounded like there were a lot of questions around why or why not you wanted to be, like, open to the public about your relationship with Shekinah.
The way Sheriyah approached that, it's clear she's looking for answers. She's not looking for another fight. And like a knight in shining highlighter, Sarper has the perfect response. He finally concedes. Not only does he admit that, quite frankly, he doesn't like being told what to do, but he also says that now he wants to post a photo of himself and Shekinah. The tides have somehow turned. This is now his choice, and he wants to do it.
I was so offensive when someone wants me to do something. But right now I want to do. For example, the posting. I want to post.
And it's at this point that Sarper takes the big step. He says that tonight's the night. He's finally gonna post a snap of them together for the world to see. And you can just tell that he's really milking this. He's reveling in all this attention that he's getting for playing this role of good guy.
And I want to post tonight.
You do?
Yeah, as a sign of my good intention. Just to show you how valuable you are for me.
The way he's acting, you'd be forgiven for thinking he's just presented Shekinah a diamond necklace or something. He really fancies himself as a real Romeo, just because he's posted a measly photo of himself with his girlfriend online. But Shekinah is loving it. She's doing everything she can to boost his ego even more. I mean, only Sarper could behave that badly just 24 hours earlier, yet today be heaped with praise for the tiniest of gestures.
I'm so proud of you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Now, while Sheriyah is just sitting there nodding along, she's naturally still scarred from what happened last night. That's hardly a surprise, right? For as gullible as her sister appears to be, Sheriyah seems a lot more grounded, a lot more aware of what's really going on. She can't forgive and forget quite so easily.
Honestly, like after last night and seeing the way that Sarper behaved, I'm not gonna delete those memories out of my mind.
It must be so hard for Sheriyah to sit here and just watch this all play out. Like literally every fibre of her being must be screaming to grab her sister and force her to go back home to LA with her. But unfortunately, Shekinah is a grown-ass woman. She's a mother, for Pete's sake. So all Sheriyah can do is play the role of supportive sister. And right now, what her sister wants more than anything in the world is for Sheriyah to act as the photographer.
Okay.
Cute. Thank you.
Yeah, this would be cute if it wasn't so deluded. Shekinah is on cloud 9, and it's really sad that such a simple, superficial thing like posting on social media can cause her to turn a blind eye to all of Sarper's other, more toxic, more serious traits. I think that says a lot about her, don't you?